Hey family, what's good with you? It's your boy 2A-N-LA, and as always, fam, anything I say in this episode, prior episodes, and future episodes, it's just my personal opinion. You shouldn't take it as fact. You shouldn't take it as law. Always do your own homework and come up with your own conclusions. Right about now, fam, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and tap that like button for your boy. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and subscribe. I firmly believe you are going to enjoy the content, fam. And if you don't, look. You can always unsubscribe later. And if you're an existing subscriber, fam, I appreciate you more than you can possibly imagine. All right, let's get this episode started. So look, fam, this is going to be a quick video. This is really a PSA because if you guys are not aware, and many of you are not, many of you rely on content creators like me and others to kind of keep you in the loop with what's going on in 2A news. And, you know, there have been some content creators that have been talking about this, and they've been kind of talking about, like, you know, the legality of it and all that. I'm not trying to get into that. Really, what I want to do is have this be a public service announcement that you guys really need to get prepared. The ATF is threatening to implement a ban on braced pistols as early as 30 to 45 days from now. And so if you have a braced pistol, and I don't care what it is, whether it's some, I'm sorry, it's when I look at it on camera, it's just so sexy. Okay, I'm back. Whether it's, you know, kind of like a little tail hook brace like that, if it is something like an SB tactical brace like that, which is very, very common. You see those quite a bit. If it's something like this one, my bad. I'm losing focus. If it's a brace like the one I have here on my SIG MPXK. And this is something I think a lot of people haven't thought of, even if you're rocking, you know, a CAA kit with a brace on it, all of those things. If you do not register your pistol, assuming that it's implemented as intended in December, you are going to be committing a felony. And so, look, fam, this is not a joke. I know we got 5 million things that we're trying to do. We got jobs and careers that we grind on every day. We got family and those responsibilities that come along with that. We got friends and family and all of this other stuff and hobbies and all of this other stuff. 5 million things that are taking place. And some of you guys have stuff that's just sitting in your gun safe and you haven't even shot in over a year. But if it's in that safe and you aren't proactive and addressing it, then be careful, fam. Don't be the cautionary tale where you just are like, oh, I'll get around to it. 30 days pass, 60 days pass, 90 days pass, a month pass. You decide, oh, you know what? I'm going to go down to the range, take my gun, and you get caught out there in the mix with a pistol brace on. A police will probably arrest you, fam. And you're probably going to get convicted because there's no getting around this. Now, there's certainly going to be lawsuits filed, stays, I'm sure, are going to be requested, but we don't know what the results of those are going to be, if the stays are going to be granted or whatever the case may be. So what I need all of you to do is to start thinking about this now. Question one, do I have a brace pistol in my possession? If you do, immediately your next thought is, what's going to be my move? There's really only a few options, and some are not even options. One option is you can turn your firearm over to the ATF and they'll take care of that for you. I bet you will, ATF. I bet you will, right? So I don't think anybody's going to do that. The other option is you can take the upper. If you got something like this, you could take off the upper and put on a 16-inch, an upper with a 16-inch barrel minimum, which then turns it from a pistol to a rifle. But if you're going to do that, then why would you leave the brace on anyway? To me, that's not really a good option, right? So then, what are the good options? There really are there really are no good options, fam, except one of the options is take the brace off. If the brace isn't on, then the rules don't apply. That's what it seems like most legal scholars in this area are saying. So then you have to run, your pistol without a brace, with just like an ugly buffer tube sticking out of the back. So look, fam, there are some alternatives. I'm going to do another video once we get a little bit closer about what alternatives that you can use if you decide to remove your brace. Because there are a few out there, and I think they bear talking about. But I want to put this on everyone's radar. Because my guess, particularly if you're outside of the state of California where AR pistols are a lot more uncommon, I'm going to guess that most people out there, if you own an AR, you probably have an AR pistol. And if you do, you need to be aware of this. You need to be thinking about it consciously. You need to be watching the news. Keep your eyes on this channel, because as we get closer to the date, like I said, I'm going to come out with another video with some potential options for you. And if it goes into effect, I'm going to do another video saying, hey, it's in effect. Now, the one other option you have, and I don't, this isn't necessarily a good option either, not necessarily a bad option, but an option, is you can register your pistol with the ATF as a short-barreled rifle. And if you register it as a short-barreled rifle, then you're okay. But it's gonna cost $200. And you have to get a tamp stamp, and you have to go through the process. Now, they may be offering some kind of amnesty period to allow you time to do that. But, man, I mean, look, some of y'all out there got 5 or 6, brace pistols. And if you got to register them all as short barrel rifles, I mean, that's, you can talking over $1,000 to the government. And really, unless they're going to offer amnesty with no charge for those people who are going to go through that process, to me, I think there's over something like 20 million people or something who have AR pistols. $200 a pop, that's like a $4 billion money grab right there for the government, which is, what I feel like a lot of this stuff comes down to. But that's neither here nor there. That's the last option is to register. Now, here's the thing, and this is what nobody's been able to tell me. In the state of California, you can legally buy an AR pistol if you purchase it private party, which I've done with all of my brace pistols, right? So the thing is, provided that you have to comply with California law, so it has to be a fixed magazine, which this one is, right? The thing about California is, and all my Californians pay close attention to this, if you have an AR pistol that you purchase private party and you're in compliance, you've got the fixed magazine on it and all that good stuff, if you opt to register it as a short barrel rifle, and let me just say this, for all the people everywhere, if you're going to have to register as a short barrel rifle, then why would you even keep the brace on? Why don't you just put a regular stock on? So there's that. But in the state of California, we're not allowed to have NFA items. So you can have a pistol and it can comply, but you can't have something that is part of the NFA. And if with the brace it becomes an NFA, I haven't heard anybody say what the hell you're going to be able to do. It's limiting one of your options. If we can't register this as an SBR, then really my only choice is to make it a rifle. Make it a rifle, hand it over to the ATF, or take off the brace. And so that's another reason why I think there needs to be, if you want to remove the brace, there needs to be some alternatives there. So we'll be talking about that soon. I would also add as food for thought before we head out of this video that keep in mind that the laws are different for short barrel rifles than they are for pistols. Like pistols, you can take across state lines, no problem, there's no issues, as long as you are transporting them properly. For short barrel rifle, you have to provide notice and get consent and all of this stuff before you can take a short barrel rifle across state lines. So it is not as easy. So if you're thinking, oh, I'll just register as an SBR, know that there are things that come along with that as well. All right. That's it, fam, for this episode. Please, please, please take this seriously because the last thing I would want is any one of my supporters to come up on the short end of the stick relative to this law. All right. That's it for this episode, fam. Until next time, as always, take care of one another and peace.